The 3.5-inch drone has been known to be similar to the 5-inch in weight to thrust ratio, but I want to test it and I don't have one, so let's build it. We're gonna start off with the frame. Unpackage this. Okay, so before we build this, let's discuss parts. So parts, we have the Nova 1804 motors, 3500 kV. This is gonna be 4S build, so that's why it's 3500 kV. They're red and they're really nice. For camera, we're using Capacitor Tel 2. It's also in red, so we're gonna keep that red color scheme. For all-in-one, we're gonna use the Lumineer Lux 35 amp AIO. This is the same one I used in this build, never had any problems, so I'm gonna use it for this build also. For receiver, we're gonna be using this XR4, I think. Yeah, XR1, 2.4 GHz ELRS, XLRS, really good. Always use it. For props, we're using HQ prop 3.5 by 2.5 by 3. So, yeah, the pitch is it's a pretty normal average pitch for 3.5 inch, so should fly pretty well, be pretty efficient. And for the video transmitter, this is the Mach 3 from Race Day Quads. It's very nice. This has been used before, so it's pretty obvious. For the antenna, we're using the Flyfish RC Osprey. Yeah, so this is one of my old VTXs. That's why it's not in package, but performs the same really well, and I'll use it again. Oh, okay. Okay, got 3 out of 4. I'm gonna attach the split deck upper part of it and screw it. Okay, it's pretty rigid, pretty solid. Okay, so I'm not gonna install standoffs yet since it's pretty hard to solder with the standoff sticking out from here, so let's set these aside. It's really nice they included Loctite on these. Anyway. Now we gotta install the stack screws, okay. So first, let me grab my AIO. Stack, but it's an anti-static tag, which is really nice. Okay, these are the stack screws that came with the frame, yes. They're a bit long for AIO, but I don't think it would make a difference, cause, yeah. So, feed it through. Other spacers, okay. So we have to use these, okay, so. Like I said, usually, this feels pretty sturdy, but I still want to add a nut to the bottom of it to make it sturdy and like, reduce the vibration, so. I'm gonna use these nuts that came with these AIO, like screwed them all the way down. Okay, so we're gonna install the stack now, and we need to figure out where and how to configure this. Personally, my VTX is gonna be in the back, so it's gonna be taking quite a bit of room, especially for this capacitor. So it's gonna be really annoying. So instead, I think I'm gonna rotate it I have the battery lead come out the front, with the capacitor coming out the front. So I push this. Oh right, that's a perfect fit. Wow, really sturdy and everything. And we can see here, and make sure there's not any touching the carbon, since carbon's conductive. You don't want that. Oh wait, actually wait, we need to install these motors first. So let's take these off, set to the side. So we're gonna bring back the M2x6s. So these should be the correct size, and let's look at these mixed up here. You see, they're perfect size.
So what I didn't include here was that the screw didn't exceed the mountings of the motor. If it exceeds and touches the winding, you're gonna burn out a motor, and you don't want to do that. So yeah, back to the video.
Wait, I'll give you the Loctite really kicking it. Alright, so tie the two diagonals first, and then you tighten the other ones for the for like equal distribution of force, I guess. Wait, what? Okay, that's one motor down, and let's check the screws. They're all good. You don't want to burn out a motor like that. That's really not a good way to live. And I'll do all three off camera. Okay, so I installed the motors. Now let's put the flight controller or the AIO back on. And this is the fun begins where we start soldering. So yes. So I'm gonna be running this fan in the background. That's the noise you're gonna be hearing, so I don't get cancer at the age of 15. So the soldering iron I'm using will be the TS001. Yes, it's a pretty good budget iron, and yeah, I did all my builds with it, like the 5-inch, my Cinewhoop, and my Tiny Whoop. You've never seen it before because I don't record those, but yes. So obviously I used the solder. You need solder, pretty obvious. So this is 1mm thick solder, so it's good for the bigger pads. I'm gonna be running these at the bigger pads, especially these motor pads. I would do 330 or 360 with those two. But for these smaller pads, I do 300 degrees Celsius, so you don't burn off a pad. So we got 10D motor pads first. Okay, so I tin the motor pads. I'm gonna tin on the pads I'm gonna use right now. I'm not gonna tin the flight controller pads, such as for receiver or video transmitter, but yes. Oh yeah. But first we need to install the capacitor. So here's my capacitor. This came with a flight controller, and you're gonna need it. It's really important for a drone build, especially. So you see, there's this negative stripe. It needs to be on a negative pad, or you're gonna short something out. So if you look really close, there's gonna be a negative symbol. So yes. So I think I'm gonna wire negative. Get a negative. Always triple check. So I think I do something like that and bend it back. I think I'm gonna do something like that, maybe. So negative goes to negative, positive we get a positive. If you look at it, it's actually really long. So I'm gonna trim those real quick. Oh yes, that's a lot better. Now, okay, while it's on there, let me solder this real quick, so it actually stays put. honestly, for these bigger pads, I'm gonna go even higher. I'm gonna go 390. So yeah. The solder's actually dripping down a bit, which is a problem, obviously. But I'm just gonna scoop it up like that. And the capacitor is soldered on, which is pretty nice. Okay, now I need to install these the XT30, yes. So again, round is ground, so you see round, black, all signed ground, so you have to make sure that you don't fry anything. So I think I'm gonna wire it like that. So yeah, okay, cool. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah, it's like that. Okay. Now I gotta trim it. So a little bit longer to trim. Now we twist these. It would tend these we tend the yeah, tend the wire, yeah. I feel like they're too long, I'll make these a little shorter. This is not really good, so I just move it away and like hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. Okay, so I would tin these pads, tin this real quick. That's pretty good. Okay, now we gotta put this on, solder this onto the flight controller, or the AIO. I use the reverse tweezers since they're a little easier for me to hold and stuff, so that's my preferred way. Some people use normal tweezers, or yeah, you do what you like the most. That's pretty good. Now we try negative. Results. Alright, that's pretty good. See, the ground is always like a little harder to solder on, so I think it's pretty good. Yep, okay, now we're gonna solder up the motor pads. I noticed these are kinda just flopping around. Let me just, you see, these are nylock nuts, basically. Makes it a little easier to, it makes it harder to for vibrations to loosen the nut, so we like screw it on to make it easier to solder to. Okay, cool. I installed these now. Now let's install the motors, the motor wires. So, I'm thinking of just doing like this first, like I did on my 5-inch. But as you can tell, my 5-inch, they start fraying and stuff, so I don't really want to do that this time. I think I should do, they go around, and this go here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, cool. We'll lay them flat on the carbon. Maybe like that. Yep. You gotta add some slack also, so you don't want it too tight or too loose. Too loose is fine, but would not recommend it, since it could get chopped by a prop or something. So cool. Pretty good. Ooh, that's alright, let me fix that. How does that look? That looks pretty good, yep, okay. Now, I'm gonna do the same thing to all 4 motors. But except these 2 are gonna be to these 2 pads. So, yeah, I'll do that off camera, but yeah. I'm gonna take a piece of electrical tape and just cut it. And essentially, I'm just gonna put a piece of tape here and just wrap it around. That just like prevents it from prop strikes and getting it cut. So I'm just gonna do all 4 motors. Honestly, now I think about it, I'm gonna install these for now. I'm gonna install the what is it called? The bumpers for the arms, since I feel like they're better for like. Oh yeah, also when you realize this bottom plate touches the arm, so this touches the ground before the arms, so these are actually pretty important. So yeah. Okay, so here's how it looks. So it actually has something to land on and be secure on. Next, we need to install the receiver. Here it is. So yeah, I think it barely fit. What if we do something like this? Oh yeah, that could fit. Okay, let's solder up these. Basically, yeah. This putty is like this fun tack thing found from a store. Very useful. Definitely recommend, so you don't solder into wrong places. Something to keep it stable for you, essentially. I'm gonna solder the wires on this side since all the electronics are this side. And if you didn't see, I would definitely change the temperature of my soldering iron to 300 to prevent burning off these pads. So for me, the color order I think is the best for me is positive is red, negative is ground, TX RX isn't matter to me, but you see one of these, yeah, but personally, 5V and ground must always be red and black. That's like something for me that you can't really debate with me. Now 5 volt. Which means this last one should be ground. This last one's really annoying, but I should use flux, but honestly I'm just too lazy to use it, to clean it and everything like that, so I just usually don't use it, but pretty good results still without flux. Okay, so the mount, that's... Alright, let me grab a lighter. Okay, so this is heat shrink. Essentially, it shrinks under heat to protect the electronics from any. So yeah, this is a really overkill lighter, but it's the only one we got right now. Okay, so I see 5 volt ground TX2 and so I'm putting those pads for the receiver, because for a receiver such as Special Alert or Crossfire, you need a RX and a TX. So they turn on my fan. Alright, so let's tin RX, TX. These are really small pads. And let's tin 5 volt and ground. Okay, cool. These two pads I accidentally tinned because I put too much solder and this is a really big tip, so that's why. But I think I'm putting something up here probably, so you might go here maybe. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so for Express LRS, you always want to cross TX and RX. So transmit goes to receive, and receive go to transmit. Because if you do transmit to transmit, they're just fighting each other, and receive, nothing's going to each other. So always want to cross those paths, but always you always have to do 5 volt to 5 volt, or else you'll fry your board. So let's do that first. Okay, cool. So these pads are really small, so they're really hard to solder to, but I did it. They're not the best, but it works completely fine. So green is TX, so you want that to go to RX, and this is RX, so you want to go to TX. So the top one is RX, so let's solder that to there. Okay, the bottom one's TX, so let's solder to there. So I'm gonna coil this wire so it doesn't get tangled up in it and keep it neat. But yeah. Next up is the camera. Yep, okay, so you're supposed to use these shorter ones for these camera mounts. So they're M2x5, just remember that, just take note of that. They always come with extras, which is really nice, but yeah. And now we do the left side. When you look at it, you see how this little notch up here, this is flat? This is the facing down part, so it should be like that. Build. Okay, so I'm using 19 by 19 millimeter camera because it's an analog camera, and yeah, so there's too black, too wide. I would be doing black since they look a little cleaner, in my opinion. No, they don't actually. I put it in the wrong way. They're supposed to go in this way. And this goes to this side. Okay, cool. Now we get our camera. Okay, so you see one plug has 2 cables, one has 3, right? The one with 3 is the one you want to use. The one for 2 is for this remote, so you can configure the camera, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, so unfortunately my light here has died, so I'm gonna have to continue this video tomorrow, which is gonna be like the next cut for you, but I do want to get this in, so the camera's installed. Now I'm gonna finish the rest tomorrow so I could like get this light working again. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this warmer light temporarily, so it doesn't really, I could have finished this video, but so basically I have this camera and I need to wire it to a flight controller so you can communicate with the VTX. So there's like pads here that says ground, 5V, and cam. So ground is black, 5V is red obviously, and cam is the yellow wire. So yeah, let me like. Okay, now let's tin these pads. So okay, so I soldered up the camera now, so it should be good, but I'm gonna go to the next day since I'm out of time right now. Okay, so since I already opened, since my VTX is used, I don't really have wires for it, so I'm supplying my own wires, but yours should come with wires. The wiring left to right, this is 7 to 24V, and there's a 10V regulator on the flight controller, so that's where I'm gonna wire to. And there's ground, video, and smart audio, so yeah. So the reason why I'm not soldering these 2 pads right here is because those are for the camera, and I soldered the camera to the flight controller, so it doesn't matter too much. Tin pads. So ground. V VTX, and smart audio goes to TX, so this is TX1, so yes. Okay, so I'm gonna be putting the VTX probably back here side of these logging cables, so I'm gonna cut them about here, leave them slack obviously. So first is ground. Ground. Good enough, that's 10V. Now, next one is VTX, so that's video in. And the last one's audio, so okay, good. I'm probably not gonna code these since these are so short, but probably gonna put it right here. So before I do that, I want to install the standoffs, so I know where to mount it, and yeah. I'm gonna use the M2x6s since I have so many of these, so I guess these are for standoffs. The longer standoffs go into the front, the shorter ones go to the back. Now, rear standoffs, we're gonna be using the shorter ones. They come with extra. Yeah, they come with one extra long, extra short. That's good, but yeah. Okay, now this 3D print should slide on. Yes, it does. Very secure also. Okay, now I'm gonna need to mount the VTX, and the way I'm gonna do that is by using the sticky tape. It's really foam, it's soft mounted, and never had a problem with it. But before we do that, we should install this SMA pigtail to the back of the mount. You got these mounts on there's a guy named Tim O'Brien. He has a thing called T4 Designs. Basically, it's a really cool website where you can generate your own designs. So I'll be linking his Discord and his website in the description below. It's pretty tight. It's pretty good on there. Okay, now we cannot plug in this the VTX or give power to VTX without an antenna. So let's put an antenna on the pigtail on first. Yeah, screw an antenna before I forget it. Okay, yeah, we could do something like that, definitely. Let's hope that doesn't have a problem. Let's stick it down. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this down here. Also kind of isolate it from carbon, makes it better for the VTX in general. Now we stick it, push as far forward as I can without touching. Push it down. Should be good on there. Yes, that's good. Okay, so before we power this thing up with a smoke stopper, obviously, I want to test for continuity, which is basically the multimeter. Just make sure there's not a constant current that's going through. See, for example, if I bridge it, it's gonna make a beep. So on the battery lead, it should not make a beep if I don't have any shorts. That's good. The short beeps, the capacitor charging up, that's normal, but once you really hold it in there, like, if it doesn't beep for, I don't know, 5 seconds, it should be good. It didn't beep, so must be good. And let's fire it up. This is a V-Fly short saver. It's one of the best smoke stoppers I've used, and the only smoke stopper I used. So plug in, and we can turn it on. Awesome. Alright, cool. Everything's working. There's lights here, lights on the flight controller. Cool. Alright guys, I'm here at a parking lot for its first flight, and I'm kind of excited. Yeah, and I'll be linking all the parts to this build in the description below, so if you want, you can copy it or not, but I'll let you know how it flies. For batteries, I'm going to be using these CNHL 600 milliamp hour batteries. These have 120C and they're 4S, so plenty of juice for this drone. Well, at least it's going to be a good light option. So here's how the sub's looking like. It's pretty secure, and there's a sticky battery pad and dual battery straps. This is not coming off. On our first flight. Let's go. This flies really nice. There's plenty of power and everything. Oh yeah, I'm definitely liking this. Okay. Yeah, this flies really smooth, really nice. Oh wow, yeah. I'm at 200 milliwatts right now, which it gets really, what is it? Staticky, yes, that's what the word. But there's quite a bit of breakup when I do punch outs, but I'm at 200, so once I go to 600 milliwatts, it should be good. Yeah, this is a really durable frame. I'm really impressed, because if I did something like that on my 5-inch, it probably would have cracked an arm or something like that, but on this, it's no problem. Alright, I could do a bit more than I'm planning. Honestly, the default tune on this is really not that bad. I might use maybe Chris Rosters or UAV Text presets, but this is a really good drone to fly in. Alright, so this drone flies really good and it was really fun building it. Definitely a good freestyle drone. Really good durability. It's really fast, and honestly I'd say it's reliable. Yeah, once I actually tune it, it could actually fly so much better. Those are my thoughts, and I love this drone. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.